Hello, my name is Rebecca Larson, and today I am going to be giving a speech for Communications 101 on cultural artifacts. The artifact that I am going to be talking about today is ceramics, specifically from the Mayan culture. Imagine uncovering a ceramic peeking out of the soil, perfectly preserved and offering a glimpse into the daily life of ancient Maya. Ceramics were made by Mayan people collecting clay out of the riverbeds. Oftentimes, the clay would have materials such as rocks, ash, and just little pebbles that were mixed in with the clay. They would bring this clay back up to where they crafted the ceramics, and they used this technique. The technique is called coil and slab, and essentially what that is it's a way of forming the ceramics together so it does not fall apart. And once the ceramics were crafted, they would be fired, and there's two ways that they would be fired: either on an open fire, which from the research I did seemed to be one of the more popular approaches because it was a lot easier for them, but the other approach was a kiln, which was a lot harder for them to build. So oftentimes the ceramics would be painted, which showed, sorry, my computer screen's going dark. The painting of the ceramics depended, and I'll go a bit more into this later, but essentially each group that created ceramics, it was passed down from generation to generation. So they would paint them to tell a story or just to pass something down. But oftentimes the ceramics were used as bowls, plates, cups, vessels to carry water from the local water source back up to the civilization. And they also played a huge part in trade because that was one of their most valuable offerings. The object represents important values because ceramics were often placed in tombs with loved ones that had passed over, and they did this as a form of believing in the afterlife and respecting the afterlife, especially if it was someone that they cared about and loved. They would put this ceramic in with them, and it was almost seen as like a sacrificial thing in a way. Traditions, like I talked about previously, ceramics were taught from generation to generation, so it's actually very interesting because you can see which location a certain piece of ceramic came from, and you can see where the generation had died out and there was no more children to learn how to create that ceramic in that specific way. I personally identify with this culture because recently I took a trip to Mexico with the family that, sorry, my computer screen's going dark, with the family that I'm going to be marrying into, and I was able to go onto the Mayan land, and we spent the day there, and we saw beautiful ceramics that were from the Mayan culture, and I learned that basically I identify with this because it's very important to me and my partner, and it has opened a door for me to explore and embrace the cultural roots that are a part of my future family's identity. Learning about Mayan culture, a rich and foundational part of Mexican history, helps me feel more connected to that heritage and allows me to honor it and become a multicultural family. So, thank you for watching this.